Hello, my favorite losers and degenerates. Here we are yet again, or rather I am, to read the writings of other people, because I'm just so handsome and verbose and good at it. Okay, maybe I'm just verbose, but I digress. In today's video, I'm going to be reading a variety of Greentext stories by anons who have had embarrassing things happen to them, their families, and their friends. One of my favorite parts of the internet is how random people can come together and tell us about all of the terrible things they've endured. We've all done or experienced some cringe, so I'm sure somebody watching this is going to see themselves in one of these stories, and that's fine. But I gotta stop filibustering, so without further ado, let's get right into this. Be me. Going about the city like I usually do. Standing in line for the subway, there's two brown dudes in front of me talking in a language I don't recognize. One of them is like 30 years older than the other. Other than that, they look so similar, I'm gonna guess they're father and son. They get to the ticket machine thing. The younger guy starts struggling with it while the other one doesn't help, just talks angrily. I got places to be, so I step in and help them. The younger man smiles and nods. Thank you, sorry, my first day in America. I was about to say it's literally nothing, but the old dude glares at him and interrupts him with an even stronger accent. You've been here for 3 years. Younger dude turns liquid from the shame, grabs their tickets and slithers away across the floors, with the old dude behind him, talking in their usual language again as they go. Dude, why'd you have to call your man out in English? Dad wasn't taking no shit, lol. That feel when I went through a Cowboy phase, become obsessed with movies like The Searchers, Unforgiven, and True Grit. Actually wore a cowboy hat and a long leather trench coat to high school. Would chew a toothpick and tip my hat to girls. See people from school years later in the street. They say, "Howdy, partner," before bursting into laughter. What was I thinking? It happens, man. You were just stupid and young, and now you're stupid and old. Sees my sister getting ready. Going out? Yeah, the bae is coming to get me. She fucking used bae. Oh, I'd love to meet him. Have him come in. Sister brings boyfriends in our house. My dad pretended he was in the bathroom. He was, in fact, slipping into something more comfortable. He walks out with my mom's bathrobe, giant fluffy white collar, about 3 feet too short for him. His Speedo on. The Speedo he never wore because it was way too tight, yet he saved it just for this moment. Walks out. Oh, you must be Justin! Reaches out for a handshake. Kid grabs his hand. Dad yanks him over and bear hugs him. Oh, your hair smells nice. What is that? Olay? Kid is horrified. No, can we go, babe? We might be late. They leave. My dad looks over and says, do you think that was legal? My balls are hanging out. Best dad ever. Gotta say, it's certainly an effective way to assert dominance. Look at log from 2009, having chat with a girl I was madly in love with at the time. Around midnight, talking about school or some shit. Girl stops responding after a while. Send all these in a row without her responding. Are you still there? Who would win in a fight, me or a person we both knew? Do you watch Ned's Declassified? What is worse, Nickelodeon or Disney Channel? How about dim lizards? I legitimately sent those to a girl at one point, stay up till 3 a.m. waiting for her to reply, finally give up and say, I'm going to bed now. I wish I was joking. Making sticky polymer in science. Think of a funny idea. Tell a friend to look at me. Open trousers and drop the polymer down into my crotch. He chuckles a bit. Go to pull the polymer out. It's fucking stuck in my pubes. Tell my friend. He burst into hysterical laughter. Please don't tell anyone. Tells a bunch of people. Eventually the whole class finds out. Even the teacher knows. Comes over and says, Anon, do you want to go to the bathroom to sort that out quickly? Walk all the way to the bathroom. The polymer is hardened into fucking plastic by this point, so it actually hurts to walk. The bathroom is locked. Go back. The teacher gives me the bathroom key. The key doesn't work. Go back to class and pretend I dealt with it. Later on, while class is ending, teacher says, everyone be careful not to drop the polymers on your carpets, especially you, Anon. Feel everyone look to me knowingly. Go for the next 6 hours of the day with my penis encased in a pink plastic tomb. Get home. Get the scissors from the kitchen so I can cut the plastic out of my pubes. Mother asks what I'm doing taking the scissors upstairs. I'm a shit liar, so I just tell her the truth. She laughs at me for several straight days. Fortunately, I didn't acquire any embarrassing playground nicknames from that day, like Patchy Pubes or Plastic. Still, my peers never let me forget that. Oh, come on, man, who hasn't done that before? In fact, my penis is currently encased in plastic at this very moment. Interesting how that works out, huh? B junior in high school. History class. My computer and desk is situated by one of the teachers. Sitting there, not doing anything, ignoring the lecture from the other teacher. Teacher that I am seated by asked me to give some dividers that were out of his reach. Get up and walk over to his desk. For some reason, my brain just stops functioning correctly. Don't know what the fuck I am doing. Grab some random binder and try to hand it to him. No, anon, the dividers. Grab a bunch of folders and try to hand them to him. Anon, no, the dividers. Dead quiet. Class of about 35 to 40 all staring at me. Can't see the dividers although he is pointing right at them. Panic mode engaged. Face turns beet red and I begin stuttering like an idiot. Sorry. Still trying to hand him all kinds of stupid shit. He's looking at me like I'm retarded. Finally managed to grab the dividers and hand them to him. Sit down as fast as I can and stare at my blank computer monitor. Face sweating and I'm beet red. Lay awake for weeks thinking about it. Be senior in high school. Second semester, I don't give a fuck about anything. Start taking dumps in school because it was taboo for most of my life and don't care anymore. Epic dumps, some lasting 20 to 30 minutes, almost get an absent because one dump took an entire class. One day, doing my stinky shit during study hall. Go to the freshman wing of the school and shit there because nicer bathrooms. While shitting a loud, big, fart-heavy shit, 3 alpha freshmen enter bathroom. Realized I'm not cool at all instantly. Trying not to blow huge farts as the freshmen goof around and talk about fucking girls that wouldn't look at me twice. One of them takes another one's hat off and throws it. It lands in my stall. All 3 are silent. No one, including me, is sure what to do. Other 2 start snickering as one reaches under the stall to get it. My face when he can't reach it. My face when I'm holding in huge farts. Guy starts asking for the hat. I say nothing. Other 2 leave snickering. He begs. Just stands outside the stall for like 5 minutes. I'm still holding in shit. Finally, I just slide it to him with my foot to make him go away. He says thanks and I hear him walking and the door opens so I unleash the Kraken. My face when it was his friends coming back to see if he got his hat. My face when they all burst out laughing. My face when they turn the lights off when they leave the bathroom, leaving me and my shit in the dark. You know, I'm seeing a lot of myself in these stories, and I'm not quite sure how to feel about that. In this thread, embarrassing moments. Be high as fuck. Pee in a Coke Zero bottle. Put it under my bed. Forget about it. Be next day. Girlfriend finds it. Ask what it is. Pretend it is apple juice. Take a sip in front of her. Girlfriend makes her disgusted face. Tells me she opened it earlier and it was definitely piss. Massive face blushing. Don't know what to say. Girlfriend decides to go back to her house. That is all. You're a fucking moron, OP. Jesus. Okay, maybe I don't see myself in all of these stories. Be kissless virgin, friendless and unpopular all my life. Start community college. Be the only guy in class. Anon, you are so cool. You are so funny. Get all the attention from girls. Anything I say or do, they are 100% receptive. Gain confidence over 9,000. I'm in charge of leading the class meeting. I'm sitting under the spotlight by 22 girls with a small round countertop table in front of me. I put my ring there and a tissue over it before I begin the meeting. In my best Hugo Weaving impression, I say, I have summoned you all to answer the threat of Mordor. Behold the One Ring. I lift up the tissue and reveal my ring, expecting a roar of excitement from the class. Nothing but awkward silence. I still remember the death stares. What are you doing, Anon? Confidence shrinks. Voice breaks. Has no one seen Lord of the Rings? Most popular girl screams, ooh, God no. Spaghetti everywhere. Teacher brings us back to class business. Nobody has spoken to me since. Resume my course in the corner by myself. They saw me for who I really was. I hate my life. Tell me about a social interaction that will haunt you forever, robots. I'll start. Be me, at a restaurant with a small group of people I don't know very well. Mostly women, it's a club meetup. Everyone's talking to each other, but I have nothing interesting to say, so I eat quietly and nod once in a while. Girl sitting across from me is talking about sports. She says she hurt her leg recently, so she can't do sports for a while. This reminds me of a fact I know about horses. Really cool and interesting. I can't wait to tell her. When a horse breaks its leg, it will never heal properly because the horse keeps using its broken leg. A horse with a broken leg is basically useless, so the farmer or whatever has to take it out back and shoot it. I blurt out, "You're like a horse." Table goes quiet. Girl looks at me with a weird expression. I try to finish my thought in hopes of saving myself. I have to take you out back and, I completely fucked this up. It wasn't even a cool fact. Why did I think this would be a good idea? Everyone is staring at me now. The silence is unbearable. I mumble a bit more, then pick up my fork and continue eating. People slowly return to their conversations. Haven't been to a club meeting since. No, okay, now I see myself again. Go visit my parents' house over the summer. Little brother has his friend over. His friend seems a little awkward but isn't all that annoying. Sonic Colors just came out and his friend pre-ordered it. Start playing it with them, have some fun. Game came with a Sonic hat brother's friend is wearing. Don't really care. Ask if I can use his friend's laptop for a minute. The two of them go to 7-Eleven to get some soda. Go on Facebook and shit, type in the letter R in the address bar, and the first result is rule34.payheal. This kid's history is full of Sonic porn. The two of them come back and his friend is wearing the Sonic hat. He wore the hat in public. Die on the inside. Suggest to play something that isn't Sonic. We start playing Brawl. Brother's friend picks Sonic immediately. You know, in my many years of playing video games, one thing I can say with absolute certainty is that there is no such thing as a diehard Sonic fan that isn't also a pervert. Sorry, that's just a scientific fact. Storytime B. Be me, in the 10th grade. Have an atheist friend named Jeremy. Overweight, excessively loud with his beliefs, etc. Basically a fedora before they became popular. Am also an atheist, but don't make it as known as Jeremy does. Only him and my cousin who attends the school know. Attend a Christian school, with devout Christian all around. Jeremy always talks about how funny it is that we're the only two atheists in the school. Thinks a sitcom should be made based on our lives. I nod along. Jeremy loves to debate the students of our school, but his arguments are about as fundamentally sound as the people he debates. Jeremy calls over an 8 out of 10 girl and randomly starts debating her. She presents a decent argument, at least in comparison to the ones I hear from the students of the school. Jeremy is not pleased. He rants about the wars affecting from religion, saying things like, God can't exist, it's just a stupid idea you religious people come up with to hide your insecurities. Do you know how many people died because of your beliefs? Jeremy refers to me for things he's not so sure about. He says many inaccurate things while making a straight face, too. He can bullshit with the best of them. Offer arguments supportive of religion and atheism. Jeremy, however, takes the whole thing as being the biggest insult to religion he's ever heard. He's always hyping me up like that, it gets annoying. I sigh, and the girl laughs. Eventually, we start talking normally, and the conversation drifts from religion to general things. You know, despite Jeremy's efforts to bring it back to the argument. In school, we have Christian education class, which we're graded on. Jeremy is constantly talking about how the rest of our classmates are indoctrinated sheeple. Our CE teacher is a radical Christian, sort of similar to Westboro Baptist Church in his beliefs. Normally, we have debates in this class, apart from graded assignments we have to do. When teacher says if he were a pastor, he wouldn't allow homosexuals in his church, Jeremy is angry. Jeremy literally leaps from the chair, he looked like a whale shooting up from the ocean, and screams, "You're just a bigot! This is what Christianity does to people, you simpletons and your obsolete beliefs in this foolish God!" Seems more offended that the man is a Christian in saying this than the fact he is saying this to a group full of impressionable people. Teacher tells him to sit down. Jeremy says no and continues his ranting. Eventually, teacher tells him to go to the office, and he is sent home. Later that night, I get a call from Jeremy saying how unfair the teacher was being and how he wishes there was a hell for that man to rot in. About a week later, Jeremy and I watch a movie on his laptop. Scene appears when two men kiss. Jeremy freaks out and closes the browser. Ask him why, because I thought he was supportive of the homosexual lifestyle. Not really. Then why did you freak out when Anon said something homophobic? Well, he's Christian. Christians are indoctrinated to believe that homosexuals are evil and are destined for eternal torture, etc., etc. An expression on my face reveals my disgust, so Jeremy says, only joking, we can continue the movie. I say no, it's cool, and walk away to talk to my cousin. He asks me why I hang out with Jeremy. He considers him a loser. I tell him, I don't know, I feel bad for him sometimes. I look back at Jeremy and he's gotten himself into another debate about Christianity again. My cousin laughs, I sigh. As I said before, Jeremy bullshits a lot. My cousin Jeremy and I were ditching some school event in science lab. Cousin asked why I became an atheist. Look across the table and saw Jeremy giggling. Start telling the story. Jeremy interjects with his exceptional story about how he chose to be an atheist since he was 2 years old. Oh, and how he was always debating Sunday school teachers at the age of 6 years old. I'm visually disgusted. Cousin tries to hold back laughter. Jeremy tells us about how intelligent he was, telling us that he learned to read before he was 1 year old, and how he started learning about scientific theories since he was 4 years old, and even made up some himself at the age of 12. My cousin plays with him, asking him to further explain certain theories, some that any person interested in science would have been introduced to, like the theories of evolution, the Big Bang Theory, relativity, abiogenesis, etc. He struggles his way through the Big Bang Theory and evolution, managing to get the clear basics across, but for the rest, he makes up complete bullshit. My cousin refers to me, asking if what Jeremy said was true. Be honest, Anon. Well, he started out somewhat correct about the Big Bang Theory and evolution, but he wasn't so on topic with the rest of them. Maybe you're thinking about different theories? He goes, oh yeah, sorry, those were the theories I made as alternatives when I was younger, before I was introduced to them. My cousin laughs, but weren't you introduced to them when you were like 4? He gets flustered, visibly blushing. Oh, right, I got it the other way around. I started making them when I was 4, and I was introduced to the real ones when I was 12. Sure, Jeremy. Jeremy has an expression like he evaded a possible heart attack. I wonder if I have had a better time doing the national pride shit. A few weeks after the school event, Jeremy is getting visibly thinner. People can tolerate him more because he's not breathing hot Dorito breath at them. He's actually made some new friends, and finds out that there's another atheist in our school. Guy's name is Tristan and has a cutie pie girlfriend. Always making Tristan seem extremely smart to me. Eventually decide to meet the kid. Kid turns out to be a pantheist. He's surprised that I know about the religion. I'm surprised about how little he knows about it. Let Tristan join the clique. Tristan and Jeremy become best friends. Jeremy is always talking about how hot his girlfriend is and the things he'd like to do to her in front of the guy. Tristan doesn't seem to mind, even gives him nude pics of the girl. Jeremy jerks off to the girl, decides to tell me about it. Cousin overhears, spreads it like wildfire, girl finds out, dumps Tristan. Tristan fucks up Jeremy and tries to get girl back. Girl pursues interest in my cousin, who shows me a few texts from Tristan to the girl. Hey, fucking answer. If you don't answer, I'm going to kill you. Cousin is angry. I'm a bit annoyed. We stop talking to Tristan, but Jeremy tries to mend their friendship. Says he'd rather a physically violent person than an idiot. My cousin says fucking loser. Jeremy calls him a Christian, as if that were going to be a nice comeback. Get calls from cousin and Jeremy later that day, each saying that I shouldn't talk to the other person. I tell cousin to calm down. I tell Jeremy that I knew my cousin longer, so I'd pick him. Jeremy claims that he's more intelligent, and our conversations are more intelligent than the conversations between my cousin and me. Reiterate that I choose my cousin. Jeremy shit messages me, calling me a religion lover. 10 minutes afterward, he apologizes. Ignore him for a few weeks, but he's clingy, so we start talking again. 11th grade now. Hannah and I had been talking. In the summer, we started dating. She's around a lot. Means Jeremy's found a new sparring partner. Constantly complains that she's too easy to debate. But then again, that's all Christians. One day, she asks me why Jeremy was so anti-religious. I don't know. Never bothered asking. You should, because it's really getting annoying. Next day, ask him why he hates religion so much. Tells story about how his father was a high-ranking position in a company which sells boat parts, but a hurricane practically tore apart their inventory, leaving the company bankrupt. Says his father was a good man who always prayed, resisted temptation in the form of his brothers who constantly offered him illegally gained money, etc. Family is now poor, can't afford to eat some nights, mother died because of lack of hospital funds, and so on. Tell girlfriend later that night. She decides to put up with him because he'd gone through enough. I agree, feeling bad for ignoring him. Few days later, find out girlfriend is organizing this gift for Jeremy, money for his troubles, which administration agrees to. Agree, decide to pitch in. After Friday morning chapel, girlfriend announced donation for a cause, hides that it's for Jeremy. Jeremy laughs, self-righteous idiots. I facepalm, on the verge of shouting at him. See that Jeremy doesn't give anything despite not knowing it's for him. Fast forward a few weeks, collection has been pretty good, collected in total about $5,000. Last collection service, girlfriend calls Jeremy to the stage, announces that the money is for him. His face is red, he starts crying, accepts money. Find out later the guy's lying when his mother picks him up from school. School rages at him, suspended for 10 days. Tell him he's lucky they don't suspend him. After suspension, he walks through school shamed, no more random debating for the time. Eventually, his shame dies down and continues random debates. Girlfriend is disgusted with him. I am too. Barely hang out with him anymore. Barely anyone entertains his debates, but don't call him a scumbag when they pass him. No friends, no reason to live apparently. Decides that he would seek attention by attempting to slit his wrist. Slits were so small, looked like he did them with a toothpick. Regardless, he's at the hospital for a few days. School prays for him and accepts him warmly when he comes back. Cousin and I despise the guy but entertain him for the time. Monday morning announcements. Principal announces that academic probation sheets were being handed out. Return to homeroom. See that Jeremy grabs something off the teacher's desk and stashes it in his bag. Ask Jeremy what he's doing. Says nothing. Tell cousin about it, and during cousin's free period, while Jeremy and I were in IT, he went through his bag and found the mashed up academic probation paper. He showed it to me, laughing hysterically. I look at it, he's on probation for nearly every single subject. We make jokes about how it looked like his schedule. Cousin says we should post it somewhere as payback. I disagree. He does it anyway. Writes Jeremy blank is an idiot on the sheet. We have a laugh about it. Jeremy is in tears when he finds out. Jeremy rips it from the board and stashes it in his bag again, crying. School tries to hide laughter, but it was too funny. He's now the subject of bullying from 8th graders and above. Freaks out one day, elbows one of them in the head, cracks skull. Suspended again for 7 days. School says one more suspension and he'll be expelled. Says the person who put it on the notice board should be suspended instead of him. Everybody stops feeling sorry for him. People now laugh at his very name. Jeremy returns to school, tries to cling on to me to feel friendship. Entertain him for a while, but half-heartedly. He takes this as full acceptance and begins passionately detailing his hatred for religious people. He starts sharing his more intimate details, starts telling me about his sexual experiences. Oh god, please stop. GIF. He tells me about all of the hentai he's watched, even shows me some of them, tells me about how he uses the yearbook to fap to people, tells me about how he faps nearly 6 times per day. I'm grossed out, trying not to laugh or puke. Tell cousin and girlfriend about it. Cousin laughs hard. Girlfriend is creeped out. Well, he's just a little different. I don't think we can judge him for that. Cousin decides to spread it. A particular girl who he fapped to from last yearbook returned to the school, visiting teachers and whatnot. Practically everybody knows by now and is losing their shit. Even the crippled dude and legally blind dude are laughing at him. Jeremy proceeds to walk away with a straight expression, hiding in the bathroom for a while until a teacher forced him out. Jeremy used the toothpicks to slit his wrist again, and it was posted on Facebook. Cousin's only response was, "Again? Damn that rascal Jeremy." This time, nobody feels sorry for Jeremy. Don't welcome him back when he returns, laughing at him even. Administration says we have to stop teasing Jeremy or we get suspended. Jeremy comes to me crying. "How could you spread this, Anon? I thought you were my friend." Tell him I accidentally mentioned it to another person who proceeded to spread it around. Asks me for a name so he can report it. I tell him I'm not giving it to him. Jeremy gets mad and stops talking to me for the rest of the day, as if it were punishment. Eventually, he sends me a message. "Bro, you there? Sorry for ignoring you, but you were being a bad friend." Fast forward about a month. In history class, we're talking about the historicity of Jesus Christ. Jeremy calls it utter crap aloud. Teacher asks Jeremy why he believed it to be crap. Jeremy proceeds to go on about how miracles are impossible and how Jesus was a myth like Horus, Mithra, and Dionysus were. Teacher tells about how historians generally accepted that there was a Jesus Christ and that he was baptized by John the Baptist and that he was crucified. Jeremy calls bullshit, expecting me to back him up. Ignore him. Eventually they get louder. "Anon, tell this foolish woman about how intellectually inferior she really is." I'm not getting involved in this. Dude, come on! These religious cretins will never understand if you don't enlighten them. Teacher tells him that he should do his own research and present an argument against Jesus Christ existing, and she would present an argument for Jesus' existence. For a grade, as he was still on probation, he needed them. He says she'll be giving him an easy A if that were the case. That night, Jeremy contacts me. "Bro, I need help with my history assignment." "You mean the one I specifically told you I'm not getting involved with?" "Fine, whatever, what have you looked at so far?" I looked at Wikipedia and I saw this historicity of Jesus page. It says Jesus was real. Dude, are you serious? Do some research, Christ. After that I went to sleep. Morning came, nearly about 20 texts all saying, "Dude, please help, please dude, I need an A on this," etc, etc. Eventually spend nearly about an hour of my own morning researching and typing an essay for him to present. Dude stumbles through my essay. Can't understand words I'd expect anyone to know at this level. Teacher gives him a B after that performance, claiming that he just copied from some website and presented it, but he needed to pass a class anyway. Another few months pass. Jeremy seems a bit suspicious. He's always going to a particular 7th grade homeroom. Cousin notices this as well. Asks me what he's doing. Ask Jeremy about it, tells me he needs me to keep it a secret. Say sure, and he tells me he's dating a girl in the 7th grade named Haley. Dude, what the hell? She's 12 years old. I know, but we don't do sexual stuff, so it's not illegal or anything. I just facepalm and walk away. Try to not tell my cousin, but he spills it out of me anyway. Instead of laughing, like I'd expect my cousin to do, he gets mad, angrier than I've seen him in a while. Ask him why he's so angry. Tells me that we're related to Haley. She's our second cousin. Get a bit more upset than before, but tell cousin not to do anything about it, cause if he did, we might get expelled. Cousin doesn't do shit for a while, but I see him talking to Haley's older brother. Oh shit.jpg. Haley's brother shouts, "What? Where is Jeremy?" I run to Jeremy, telling him to hide somewhere. Too late, Haley's brother's mad as hell, has a brick in his hand. Chucks it at Jeremy's head, TKO. Skull fractured, everyone surrounds the scene. Haley suddenly appears and is shouting at her older brother. She says, "He's my boyfriend, leave him alone!" People hear this, boys get mad, girls disgusted. 12th grade boys want to beat the shit out of him. Teacher arrives, calls ambulance, Haley's brother is called into the office, and Jeremy is carried to the hospital. He had surgery and after about a week and a half, returned. He comes to me, seeming to be mad, but not at me. Rants, "These stupid Christians. The Virgin Mary was a child when God impregnated her, yet when they see it happening, they go crazy." Dude, just no. Teachers dislike him. Students dislike him. He brings out the toothpick again and tries to commit suicide. Haley's brother is suspended. When he finds out that he tried suicide again, says, "I hope he dies." Eventually, his parents begin taking him to a psychiatrist because he attempted suicide so often. Finds out psychiatrist is a Christian. Sessions become one-sided debates about Christianity. Psychiatrist is just absorbing it all. Psychiatrist tells his parents that he's self-absorbed because of his tendency to lie and exaggerate about himself, and that he's prone to acting out in ways to get attention. They decide that he needs more friends for more attention, so they introduce him to a nice young girl. She's a 9 out of 10, the daughter of his mom's coworker. She's interested in anime and the like. Jeremy takes this as his cue to introduce her to hentai, thinking he'd get sex from it or something. She's beyond disgusted, tells her mom about it, who tells his mom. While he's at school, she goes through his computer history. Lolly, hentai, cartoon porn something, etc. She freaks out when he gets home and so does he. Tells her that she shouldn't be using his computer. She gets so mad and restricts his computer access for school assignments only. Later, she finds him on the computer at 12 in the morning and asks what he's doing. Says he's doing work. Mother comes in and checks the screen. It's porn, but regular porn. She says, "Well, it's an improvement," and leaves. Next day, he told me about the incident, laughing and wheezing in his annoying manner. Tell cousin, expecting him to spread it, but he didn't. Actually reminds me of another incident with him. We're in CE class, talking about sex and drugs. Jeremy is laughing like a spaz. He whips up a tale about his experiences with pastors' daughters. Everyone nods along. "Yeah, Jeremy, sure." CE teacher would normally say something if he believed him. After class, he can't stop talking about his experiences. It's become evident that he was bullshitting. He slurs. "Dude, I was with this pastor's daughter. She was a freak. We were smoking marijuana and she was sucking my dick during her dad's sermon." Girlfriend laughs awkwardly. Cousin laughs at how fake his story was. Even this American in our school, who we call Black Jesus because he's so nice, says, "Dude, I know Jeremy's a liar. I can't take him seriously." Cousin laughs. He goes to my cousin, who already hates him, and says, "Shut your mouth, you ignorant fool," and points in his face. Cousin goes ghetto. "Please do something. I dare you. You're like the 3rd biggest pussy in our grade." Tell cousin and Jeremy to chill. Jeremy says, "I have an extremely high threshold for pain. You couldn't hurt me if you wanted to." Cousin goes off. "Jeremy, nobody even believes what you say at all. Just shut up, dude. You're a pathetic loser. Ignorant pissant. You know nothing about me. All you know is what they tell you. All you do is what they tell you to do. You, sir, are the pathetic one." Tell Jeremy and cousin to shut up and cool down. Sigh, trying to be the mediator, but obviously not working. Later that day, Jeremy tells me how I shouldn't be associating with the religious cretins. Says they're bringing me down and that I should befriend Tristan instead. Jeremy, just calm down. Not everyone likes to hear about your radical views all the time. Ugh, are you Christian or something? What the fuck? Why are you defending them so much? Just sigh and ignore him for the night. School is nearing its end and everybody's pretty much fed up with Jeremy. Plan to beat his ass on the last day of school. I hear about it and try to warn Jeremy to not show up. Last day of school comes, he shows up anyway. Even though I don't like the guy, I didn't want to see him get beat, tell him to go home now. Jeremy says he's not afraid. School ends, people are waiting by the school's gate, the only exit. I see a lot of people out there, about 20 or so, including Haley's brother. Rush into school, see Jeremy talking with a teacher. Excuse myself and ask to see Jeremy privately. Tell Jeremy about the number of boys out there. Tell him to jump the rocks or something. He says they won't lay a finger on him. Says he'll walk through there. I plead with him not to go. He says he'll be fine, because they're incompetent, so any plans they came up with would surely fail. He walks to the gate, they instantly mob him. One guy throws him onto the ground. Rest start kicking and punching him in places. He pushes one of them off and runs towards the office. They grab him by his shirt a few times and pummel him a bit more, but eventually he makes it. He reports the incident, and each individual involved is called into the office and suspended. Boy says that Jeremy pushed him, and Jeremy is called into the office. In the school, they go by the turn the other cheek philosophy, so you can't really fight back unless it's life endangering. They ask Jeremy. He says he didn't, everyone else says he did. Jeremy remains in the office for a while, until we finally find out he's expelled. I plead his case for him, but they won't hear it. They eventually allow him to leave the school without expulsion being put on his record, so it'd be easier to be accepted into another school. Parents come in, outraged, saying they'd gladly remove their child from this awful school. After that, we maintained Facebook communication for a while, but we just lost contact. Well, wasn't that heartwarming? Well, maybe heartwarming's a bit of a stretch, but I think you get the idea. I hope these stories entertained you, because I certainly got a lot of enjoyment out of it. There's nothing quite like reading some totally legit stories from image boards. They might be fake, but it's a hell of a lot more fun to pretend that they're all true. But that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. If you like what I do, leave a comment, rate, and subscribe. If you want to support me in a more personal way, you can check out the Patreon link in the description for exclusive perks and the Teespring link for merchandise. I've also got a Newgrounds account if art stuff is your thing. I've got more content coming down the pipeline. But until then, I'll see you degenerates next time.